We often just take a leap, but no one talks about the woman who didn't rush. She grew into it with intention, with wisdom, and with timing. Welcome to The Woman Next Door, ladies, where we explore real women, real stories, no filters. Today, I am joined by a woman who embodies growth. She is a wife, a mother, an author, a teacher, a business co-owner, and host of the yearly SEN online conference. Debbie, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me, Alicia.
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. Before we go into everything, I want you to tell us, who is Debbie on a normal day?
On a normal day, depending on how I start.
Okay.
And I start my day with prayer,
Okay.
which eases me into a kind of smoothness to my day, with anticipation of bumps, but each step is in terms of my response to each one will vary depending on each, but I do not allow whatever happens first to impact the full day, because it will indeed impact my day negatively. So I try to keep positive.
Okay, and that takes discipline.
It takes discipline.
So how would someone who is close to you describe you?
Close to me, you want to be you or my husband? My husband keeps reminding me, like almost every day, he reminds me of the days he went to Homewood to meet me. I hear that ever so often.
Wow.
That
like
trip,
you weren't even there.
Exactly. That trip to Homewood is always on his lips when he first met me.
Now, so what would he say about you in terms of the person who you are?
He says, even this morning, you're the best wife. You're so caring. You care about the whole person. You care about my health. Whatever I do, you're saying no to me. You're saying yes to me, which is for the most part, is something positive.
All right. Which role that you have calls on you the loudest nowadays?
Funny enough, I think our daughters call on us a whole lot. And I think because...
So that would be your role as mother?
As a mother, yes.
Okay.
And even though they're all so distant away from us, we hear from them. They call, talk about marriage, talk about ending of school, we are studying and what is happening in there. So they're always calling, Dila's calling. They're all calling for whatever the reason. So it's always...
So that role is really calling you audibly.
Yes.
And in many other ways.
In many other ways.
And you're very passionate about, our history, how we have evolved as women. Can you just make a statement to Black women and the significance of this month to us as women from the West?
From the West. I think it is so possible that we can evolve into the woman we want to be. There may be hindrances, but you have to work towards circumventing. Either go under, around, or above it, but do not stay put. Fight the fight and excel in whatever your strength and your skill set presents to you.
I love it. I love it. So be honest with us. Is there ever a moment when you're answering a call, but you're hearing 5 other things happening in your head?
Yes, many times. Many times.
So honestly, now, what does balance look like for you? Is it negotiating? Is it working? What is balance?
Balance, to me, is what makes the best sense or better sense.
Okay.
It's between myself and Desmond. It might be his idea or my idea. Or sometimes some things out of our both ideas, which makes sense to both of us, and we go along with it.
I noticed that you call your husband's name, and I'm talking about you. It seems to me as if he's very integral in everything that you do. Because when I talk about balance, I'm talking, it could be outside of the home, it could be in the middle of the street, it could be something that doesn't even concern him per se, but then you refer to him. So tell us about that grounding that he's intricately mixed in everything you do.
I remember the story of Wuthering Heights with Heathcliff and Catherine.
I remember the title, but I don't remember the story.
And Catherine said, that Heathcliff knows her better than herself. So I think Dee knows me better than I know myself, honestly.
Did you hear that, ladies?
So
her husband knows her better than she knows herself.
And as a result of that, I tend to lean on him heavily just for decisions and for that's my life itself.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your UAE journey. What brought you to the UAE? And don't tell me your husband.
Well, funny enough, you know, we lived in the UK for about 12 years because we left from Jamaica, went to UK as teachers. And we lived there for about 12 years. We bought a house and we decided to sell the house and to live in the countryside into greenery.
Oh.
And then during the transition, before that, our friends were here. They came about a year or two before us to the UAE. And we always said, let us go, but we never decided to. And then the opportunity came. We were leaving London into the rural areas. There was no job yet. And then I got a job interview for Qatar.
Okay.
And then we both went to Qatar. And then from Qatar, job was offered here. And so we both came to the UAE.
Okay.
And so this is where we have been for almost, 10 years.
So indeed, your husband also brought you
we're
here.
together.
All right.
Yes, we're together.
All right. So how has living here shaped you as a woman?
I think as a woman, as a person, I think I've seen the world in a broader perspective. Oftentimes we see the West as just the place.
That's correct.
But going someplace else, I have come to realize the world is far larger, far deeper, far more intense and interesting just coming to live in the UAE. I also see my role as a woman being significantly more important to me here than I see in the West because of my influence on other women here.
Right.
So it has been a great deal.
All right. In what way have you progressed personally and professionally in the UAE?
I think initially we learned that there were churches here because we are Christians. And coming here, realized we had to pray more because of the stories we have heard from before coming here. So I think we have become more prayerful. And I'm not saying we have, it's a joint thing. And professionally, I was always in special needs. And I always wanted to become a Senko. And I've worked as an assistant Senko in the UAE.
Tell us what's a Senko.
Okay, a special educational needs coordinator. And here I got the job. My first job here was a special educational needs coordinator.
Wow.
And I've always been since then. So for me, it was a jackpot. I got what I really want. Yeah, I got what I really wanted. Yes.
Jackpot. So in terms of professionally, is there anything else that you would like to mention in terms of your own growth?
My own growth, I always wanted to write, to put my ideas in a book. And over time, I found support in my past professors who I wrote to say, I'm going to write a book, and I got ideas. I've looked at other authors and I had my own ideas as to what I want to present in this text. And so I was able to write this book. It's now on Amazon. I think it needs to be re-edited now since it's about 5 years now. But I have used it and used it well. I've shared it with my friends who have found it effective. And for me, that is professional growth as an author.
Excellent.
As an individual, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Many persons have lived longer than you have and never written a word. So for you to take the time, it also takes some amount of discipline to do that. So hats off to you. Hats off to you. I want to find out what dormant inside of you did the UAE unlock?
I think there's potential. Sometimes I think money is a factor. Even though the UK could get loans, but here it was, for me, easier. And based on they give you loans based on your salary, and you're not paying rent and so on here as you pay, or mortgage.
Yes.
And so therefore, that opportunity presented itself. I said, why not take the leap, and go ahead and invest.
So it made a lot more doors open.
Yes, definitely.
That's good. Did you become a different version of yourself while being here? I know you've been the mommy, you've been the author, you've been so many things. But do you consider that you became a different version?
Possibly older,
The
wiser.
older version.
Yes, the older,
Okay.
wiser version.
Yes.
Very reflective, to see, well, the things that I have done and would have done it again, probably the same thing to a greater or lesser degree. Yes. So I think I've matured. I've seen life in so many different ways now than I would. So definitely I have grown.
Okay. All right. You didn't rush into business. You are a teacher, you're an author, but then you took your time to find a way to grow into it. Tell our viewers, what did that journey look like?
There was a dream that we had. I think, let me say, I had a dream.
I had a dream.
Yes. And can we do a business? But initially it was for after school support. That was the intention. And they agreed. And so it was a 2-year journey in finding the most appropriate place. We went all over Al Ain. We have seen many buildings. But when we saw where we are now, that was the best place, the most suitable place that we saw was into School Road, and it's also in a particular in a community.
Yes.
And so that was a choice of place. Through prayers, we asked God to lead us in finding the most appropriate place. And then we have found a very supportive people in finding even the man who was the agent. He was so supportive. Don't take this one. Take this one. Just go to look, but don't take it. And God just put people in our way. The man who currently supports us, he's still there for us. Even the owner of the place where we are, our landlord, he has said, because for the first year, we pay the first rent for the first, and then there's nothing happening. There's no students, there's nothing. And he said to us, don't worry, I cannot prorate it. You don't pay for this year. We began the payment for the second year. And I can remember we eventually opened the 8th of July, and we had no students. Then eventually about 12 kids came for the summer session. And then August came, and then September came, and there were 0 children. Wow. We were paying teachers, management, we were paying out of our pockets.
Wow.
And God has really turned it around. So be patient. It takes patience. It takes perseverance. It takes find the right people to support you. And sometimes it's when only one person at a time who will give you a word of encouragement. Take the encouragement and run with it.
That's right.
So that's what we have been doing. And God has been so gracious to us.
I think you're a little bit modest in explaining the journey, because I was a bystander, and vicariously I can tell you that there are so many people who were encouraged by your perseverance. You mentioned that some people, there were times when there was no students. And very often in cases like these, people would just lock shop and pack up and go. But you hang in there.
Yes.
Talk to us about where you got that level of perseverance, and what was it, stick-to-itiveness, that made you want to stay?
I think because we had a vision and we had something in mind that we wanted to see the end of it. And therefore we didn't give up, because people are still having children just at the right time, but we'll get the kids. And so there's no thought in our mind that any point let us close this place. We never thought about it. Okay, next month. And so we went on month by month, 1 child, then 2 children, and then the numbers began to pick up. And we still prayed. We said that God that will make it work. He will open doors and send people. And so we have been pressing on. I must also say my church is very supportive. The Allen Church is supportive. Other folks are very supportive. And we are just giving thanks for their input words of encouragement, their prayer, their presence. When you came, Baba came one summer. I still have my bag and everything. It was a combination of everything, but we are still thankful for those who, shared, encouraged us, who didn't have an idea as to what we are doing, but it sounds good. Let me pray for you.
And I think many people hang on because they were so inspired by the tenacity that you guys had, the hope amidst no evidence, no children. But talk to us, fast forward to today. What is it like?
Today, thank God, we have 4 teachers and TAs in the building. We have a general manager who has been there from the start. We interviewed her, the first one, and then there was nothing for the first year. So she went back to work someplace else. And I said to her, Nirvana, will you join us? And she says, yes, I'll join you still. And she resigned her job.
Wow.
Yes, and join us. And so I find her very reliable, very dependent. She says, Miss Debbie, this is as much mine as it is yours.
And from a distance, I can tell you, you seem to be a family there.
It's a family business. The 2 sisters who are there as TAs and teachers. It's ours, it's ours.
Yes.
So they told, everybody was joined.
Yes.
I've seen themselves as a part of this process. So it's a family business.
That's amazing. So talk to us about what that built inside of you as a person. You mentioned that this is the older version of you. What did that build? All that process?
I think patience. It has built perseverance. It has built in me that if people trust you, they will take a risk with you. So trust is important. And if you trust people, they also will trust you. So it is a reciprocal relationship. They trust and you trust. Because we're not there in the days, they're there. And so if anything she calls thee, and we have it sorted, I'll be there for meetings. And so we build that relationship. They rely on us and we rely on them.
So you're saying you still have your day job that's happening while you work?
Yes, definitely. So both are happening concurrently.
Okay. Think hard. Did you ever have any fears? Any fears whatsoever?
I think initially we had, because of the legal issues in the UAE. So we had to switch the way we approached it and brought my daughter in, Dinia. That was probably the greatest fear. But other than that, everything just worked out well.
Wow. Was there ever a moment when you thought, let me just stay safe with a job? No extra risk with all these unnecessary responsibilities of a business. By the way, tell the viewers, what's the name of your business?
It's called Fun Arts Recreational Services.
Say it again.
Fun Art, shortened is Fun Art. And it's a play and learn scheme where we focus on the British play scheme authors. And we also integrate other learning and playing activity. It's play and learn. The idea, kids come in before the age of 5. And so the idea is that they come in and they learn, but it's while playing. So it's a play scheme where kids come in and they learn. The idea is to make learning fun.
Yes.
So when they leave us to go to KG or FS, they are school ready. That's our motto, being school ready.
All right. So where is it located?
It is located in Moaji, 13 Al Shaham Road in Moaji. That's where it is at the moment.
That's a great way to move in to talk about your dear beloved Dee. You co-own a business with your husband.
Yes.
What has that experience been like?
To me, it's very good because it takes us out of our comfort zone as a couple, and we're both taking emotional risks, financial risks together. So if we lose, we both would have lost. And if we gain, we both will gain. So it is adding to our repertoire as a couple, as we are expanding our knowledge, we are expanding our skills, and we are sharing ourselves with others in terms of our interactions with people, with other than our colleagues at work or other than our church family. We are seeing other people we would not have usually interacted with. We are interacting with them and building a bond, building a relationship with them. For me, it is I find a safe place to be with
All
him
right.
and with others.
I almost asked you, how do you separate business from home life? But I want to ask you, do you actually? You work with
With
your
your
husband,
husband.
you this with your husband. So is there any separation?
I can say no, honestly, because maybe having dinner and something about the pop in the head, oh,
Business meeting.
and it's a business meeting,
All
you know, right?
right.
So it might just be a short idea, or you might need to get up from the dining table and say, okay, I need to go to the center now. So it all depends. I think we're very flexible, we're very understanding. And because it's always, I think I know whatever we do, it is for the best interest of the business and in our best interest as well. And for us, we want to do the best interest of the children that we serve.
That's
and
important.
if they are the clients, and we want to give them our best.
All right. So in matters that may be contradictory, who gets the final say?
It depends on what's the best outcome.
Okay.
So if it's this idea and it's the best outcome for the business, it goes. If it's mine, it goes.
Okay.
So it just varies depending on what is the best for the outcome of the business.
All right. Serious business. We're winding down. Serious business. Yes, ladies. We're talking to Debbie Hamilton-Bogues. And she is the co-host of the SCN Online Annual Conference. And so, Debbie, I'm going to ask you, what inspired you to create this conference?
I'm a Jamaican and I love home. And just my experience as a teacher in Jamaica, I always, for whatever reason, my first job at Teachfield High School, 1987, it's quite a long time. As a rookie teacher, they tend to give you the weakest class. And yes.
Ooh, don't we know that?
And that was my first teaching experience. I got a set of kids who were seen as the worst set of kids at the time in English, because I taught English. And then in Jamaica at that point, we're doing the CXC and the GC. And those who didn't do so well were given the GC to do. The top kids were given the CXC. So I was given that class. And I'd spent the year and I taught my kids. And the results came, they all passed the exam. And I remember the head of English said to me, Mrs. Holgate, she said to me, what did you do? What did you do? I just taught the kids. And I left there and I went to Homewood. And at Homewood, for the same reason, the kids who struggle, I tend to get so much out of them. I went to the UK, the same thing. The kids who struggled,
you have a way with them.
I got the best out of those kids who struggled. And hence I decided to go further my studies to do my master's in special educational needs. So I realized that there was a gap home. So even after I left the UK to Qatar, to the UAE, I said, we need to give back to home. And therefore the dream it was given birth to the first SCN conference that we had like 5 years ago. I got my professors from the UK, professors from North Carolina where I studied, and they were so excited to join me. You were there on the set. You were just on the set the first time we had a conference. And so for me, I realized giving back is such a beautiful thing.
Satisfying.
It is satisfying. And when you're here, teachers are saying, because of your interventions, my child has made this progress. And it's because of what you have done. I'm now a SEN teacher. For me, it's a blessing. And so blessing is given in so many ways. And we're told that iron sharpeneth iron. And so for me, giving back to my home country, for me, it was just a blessing.
That's commendable. That's commendable. And the SCN online conference, it feels more than an event. It feels like a mission. It feels like a mission. I was shocked one year when I went on and saw it was either 100 or more than 100 participants.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, it has been.
So, Miss Debbie, behind all of this, you are a mother. We can't spend 1 minute talking to you or your husband without you mentioning the girls. And I know if anyone should spend a moment in your presence, they are going to sense that motherly air about you. How do you stay present being a wife and a mother?
It's like having several balls
Juggling.
and you're juggling. But at some point you just stop juggling and you focus on one. So it's a process. It's a process where, and it has to do with prioritizing what comes first.
Say that again.
Prioritizing.
Prioritizing. Okay.
Prioritizing.
Yes.
What comes first? What is most important? What needs to go on the back burner? And what needs to be put to the fore?
I know you have a very close-knitted relationship with your children, your daughters. I almost asked, what does support look like in a home? But talk to us about the kind of relationship that you have with your children.
Now they're all grown adults, and I'm happy that they have grown. They are, for the most part, independent in terms of the last one went to university. But for me, whenever they call, I answer. The response they get might not be what they want to hear, but I am there for them.
You are a wife. Have there been any moments when you felt so stretched? Talk to the camera about it.
I'm trying to think and think hard. Felt stretched. I think it's not with my family. I think it's more like work. Work seemed to be absorbing all the time for the family. And for me, something has to give. And sometimes that relationship at home that you really want to nurture has to be given up for something else.
Barter.
Yeah, it was only for short term. And then you go back to where the core of life is. Work is important. And it is what sustains us. We're told that we are also workers, as Sabbath keepers, we also have to work, which is important to our existence. But having that balance in work and having the knowledge that this is only for a time and family and everything else will continue thereafter. So yes, we barter our time and
all right,
our affections.
If a woman in the UAE is watching this episode and they are wondering, they have ideas, they're afraid to start, what would you say to her?
First thing, write your ideas down, document it. What is it that you want? And have some of our vision boards, document it. This is what I really want. Make your end goal your first part of your idea, and then the steps in which it will take. It could be research-based. What do you want to do? So I want to own a business. Say I want to own a restaurant in UAE, and I want it to be serving, say, vegan meals. That's your main point. Document it. Look at your menu. What is it I want to serve? Look at my clientele. Look at funding. Where do I get money from? Do I have more funding from my own pocket, or do I need to do a loan? Do I have friends or family who will support me? Look at the place. Where is it that you will get your clients from? And then you ask those who you think who have been in the business. You can also interview them. How did you start? So at least from the bumps that they experience, you might not experience it yourself because you've had their experience to learn from.
Thank you for that. What is one truth that you now live by?
Many, but one, anything is possible. If you dream big enough, it is possible. Even though it might appear very obscure, it's not really clear, or it's not really vivid in your mind. With plan and with time, it becomes clearer. And so therefore, do not give up on that dream.
All right. Do not give up on that dream. You're very excited and passionate about health.
Yes, I am.
Why do you think it's important for a woman to be mindful and even as passionate about their own health?
As a woman, you carry the next generation. You are the carrier of the next generation. And if you're not in a healthy state, your next generation will be affected by your doings. I remember I stopped eating meat many, many years ago, like beef and so on. And I realized having a healthy lifestyle has bearing not only on my person, but on others. And for me, if you're healthy, you can do so many things. Healthy mind, healthy body. And so the impact it will have on me and my influence on others will be, I think I've lost my words here, but I think, yeah, you will edit that.
Lasting.
It will be lasting.
Yes.
You know, I keep saying to my girls, change the way you eat, do this, do that. I said to my friend, I said to Desmond, to myself, improve on it. I think we have been given, and I think we take it for granted as a people, that food heals. It can cause illnesses and it heals. And I want to look at food as a healing property of our lives. So,
And women have a
and
responsibility.
we have a responsibility as women to carry that in us, because we are carrying the next generation. So hence.
Wow. Women, we have that responsibility to carry the next generation. Nobody talked about how avid a traveler you are. You don't stay one place. You're always moving. Tell our viewers how many countries you've traveled and why it's important to
Oh dear.
explore the world.
I think we have gone to more than 25 different countries. For me, I'm from a small island, Jamaica. Initially, we thought the world was UK, US, and Canada. When we went to live in the UK, I realized that there are other places other than the UK. So we traveled to Europe. And in the UAE, I realized there are more places than this place. So we go to Asia. And so I realized that traveling, you see people for who they are. We no longer take people and their culture for granted. And we see that people are people. What I realized also, that the foods that we think is ours as a Jamaican, it's not ours only. It belongs to everybody else. Yes. And so therefore, I see people for who they are. I love people. I love different cultures. When I travel, I go to the markets. I love to go to the marketplace, but to see people in their organic state, not in these grand hotels where you have all the chandeliers.
High rises.
No, in the marketplace, on the streets, in the villages, and meet the people. And I must add, as a Jamaican, when I say I'm a Jamaican, oh, you're a Jamaican, there's a conversation.
Yes.
And I must add, my husband loves cricket. And everywhere he goes, he always finds cricket fans. That's an icebreaker for him whenever we go. And so therefore, traveling broadens your horizon so much that you realize that your little island is just a little important space, I must say, in the broad scheme of this world.
Thank you so much for joining me on the Great Couch and sharing with the women next door your life, your impact, your passion. And I'm trusting that someone out there will want to know more, will want to fill the gaps with the information that you have provided. Tell us, where can we find you online? Ladies, 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 growth doesn't have to be rushed to be powerful. This is the woman next door. Real women, real stories, no filters. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.